Hey everyone, this is a very different um, video than I usually post, considering I haven't posted in about 8 years. As you can hear, I'm probably talking funny because, and by the title of this video, I recently got my tongue split 2 days ago actually. I'll show you a little bit of it. You can see all the stitches are still in, and then I'm also missing a tooth. That's another video. I'm getting a dental implant, and I usually wear like a partial denture until I can get a crown on the implant, but it's just too uncomfortable with how swollen my tongue is. I'm actually pretty impressed with how well I'm able to speak right now, considering it's Wednesday, I got this done on Sunday. I just wanted to make like a healing video because I only found a couple on YouTube when I was looking for them, and they have really good information. I just kind of wanted to like add another one because I had a couple other notes that are slightly different. So regarding the actual procedure, if you have any like specific questions, it's probably better to get in touch with the person who did it, who I'll link um, in the description of the video. It was done with a scalpel, and then so somebody else has done this, so they split it, and then they stitch it on either side so it doesn't heal back. I'll show you a better. It looks really gross right now, so I'm just warning. But I'll show you exactly what it looks like right now. Hopefully you're not squeamish if you're watching this video, but it looks, the rest of my tongue is swollen and a little bit bruised, but just the split looks kind of gross. Oh, sewing angle doesn't look so disgusting, but I'm not very good at putting it back together. I can kind of open it up, but I move my mouth when I do it. Also because it's so swollen. So, I guess the first piece of advice is like eat all that you can the day of, because you're not really able to eat anything but liquid for the first couple of days, which I mean is pretty self-explanatory. Um, the person assisting Russ with splitting my tongue told me to get Ensure, which was a really good idea. She said she liked Ensure better than like Boost and some of the other ones because it's thicker. It has calories as well as protein in it, which is really helpful. But it's also dairy based, so you want to make sure that you're, obviously the person is going to tell you this if you get it done, but you're going to want to rinse your mouth out with saline every time you ingest something that isn't water for obvious bacteria. So anything with sugar or dairy, you really want to make sure you do that because it can just breed extra bacteria. Somebody else mentioned that they had sugary water. I've just been using like just regular, really cold water with ice cubes because I find it really soothing to drink. You want to stay hydrated. As well, it just feels really nice on your tongue. I didn't expect how much extra saliva was going to be produced. I'm producing like 3 times as much of saliva as I usually do, so I'm constantly swallowing it. I find that it's a bit thicker too because of my tongue being swollen, so the water's just really helping it just soothe it, and it makes things just the saliva easier to swallow. And you know, you want to stay hydrated. People talk about you feeling like exhausted, and I didn't really believe them because at home I feel fine, I'm in a good mood, but when I go out or I went out with a friend and tried to eat some pho yesterday. Took me quite a long time to uh, eat a quarter of it, but the tofu that was in it and the noodles were fairly easy to eat, but because your tongue is constantly rubbing against your teeth, it gets really uncomfortable. This looks really painful, but it's not. It's just uncomfortable. Somebody else mentioned because of how big your tongue gets, especially the first day. Oh my god. It tongue gets so swollen that like you could see perfect imprints of my molars on my tongue. It's definitely not as swollen now, but that's the uncomfortable part. Some people mention that the stitches are really painful. I don't find them painful. Again, I find them just uncomfortable because you can't feel anything in the split. I can only feel the top of my tongue and the bottom, but nothing in between. So it doesn't actually hurt. Um, some of my saving grace, as long as Ensure and water, has been I went to Costco and got these because I was making smoothies beforehand, but getting dark cherries has been so amazing because they're like little ice cubes that you can eat. So I just eat them one at a time, like completely thaw, which really helps bring the swelling down and just feels nice. And they're really easy to chew. So I've just been having little bowls of that probably twice a day. I've also been making smoothies with I found this like powdered peanut butter at Costco that is amazing. I mean, you can use regular peanut butter too, but because I want the protein, I've been putting like bananas, yogurt, like soy milk, and peanut butter, with other fruits in that as well, just to make sure that like we're eating. Because I've been told that fats are really good to have, so I even have some ice cream as well. But because I'm lactose intolerant, I'm being very careful. I could get coconut ice cream, but I like the taste of regular ice cream better. But also if you're like dairy free or vegan, I mean, all that stuff's great. Um, Another thing that's helpful is like before I went to go get it done, I took a couple Advil just in preparation. Um, Keeps the swelling down because it's an anti-inflammatory and it doesn't thin your blood. What was interesting is when Russ split, he said there was like hardly any blood, which is interesting. There wasn't a lot. There's only been like everybody's different though. The other thing I was going to mention, oh, in another video, which I'm going to link these videos below because I found them really helpful. I watched them quite a few times before I got my tongue split. Is one of the people was saying that get like a waterproof cover for your pillowcase because you will drool a lot the first night. This is true unless you're a nose breather. I actually can't sleep with my mouth open. It's just uncomfortable. I think I clench my jaw when I sleep. So I didn't have that problem. But there was just like a lot of pressure in my mouth, so it made sleeping kind of difficult. I would take a muscle relaxant, like an over-the-counter one that already has ibuprofen, and that helped me sleep. And yeah, just I'm surprised at how well I can talk right now, it being only day 3. I did take a week off work because I deal with like I'm a massage therapist. I deal with new people all the time. I usually like to wear my tubes when I'm dealing with people because So I got back to work on Monday. I got the stitches out on Saturday. I hear it's so much better when you get the stitches out, which I can see that for sure. So yeah, that's day 3. Again, if you have any questions about the actual procedure, get in touch with Russ Fox, which I'll put a link to his page below. He'll be able to answer questions better than I can. Oh, also when I'm eating the cherries, because, like I said, I can feel the top and the bottom, but not in between. Sometimes a cherry gets like, I can't feel it. It's really weird. And I've heard from watching other videos that you grow nerve endings. You'll eventually be able to feel at least a little bit, but the whole area of the split is completely numb, which is kind of strange. I remember after he did it, and then the hardest part of the whole procedure was when he's doing the suturing because he's got it clamped on either side, splits it, and then hands off the clamps to somebody that's standing behind me so he can do the suturing. But you have to stick your tongue out as far as you can and keep your mouth as open as possible. I found that to be the most uncomfortable part of the whole process. And then you tend to like hurt in here after, which is another good reason for taking the Advil. But other than that, I knew it was going to be uncomfortable, but it's also going to be worth it. I think it's absolutely amazing that we can cut our tongue in half, suture it, let it heal, and it doesn't have any long-term effects on our body. Like, it's totally something we can do. I think that's amazing. And it's also an extreme modification that you can completely hide from other people. Because I work as a professional, and I have like, visible tattoos and things like that. I'm a massage therapist. It's like not business, but, yeah, having my tongue split, especially when the swelling goes down, you won't be able to tell unless I stick my tongue out at somebody. So that was actually the big appeal. So yeah, I'm gonna probably do a video in a couple of days, and then probably on like the 7th day, maybe the 14th day as well. If you have any questions, post them below. I'm not gonna respond to negative comments. If you have any, whatever. Yeah.